Good to see you.
Yeah, it's so good.
Thanks
to be
for visiting.
Yeah, and your space is beautiful.
Thank you.
Now,
Motorcycle ride all the way from Chicago to Pittsburgh.
500 miles.
Thank you. My nephew came to visit. Thank you.
It treated me so sweet. There's been so much food, I'm going to have to work out double time.
It was all healthy, non-fattening.
Oh my gosh, so delicious. So anyway, we've been here for a few days now, and Brenda has been an anchor here with KDKA in Pittsburgh for how many years now?
I was at KDKA TV since 1987.
Wow.
That's a CBS owned and operated station, which we call an O&O.
Okay.
Prior to that, I was at the NBC station, which was WPXI, Channel 11. So when I moved here in 1979, that's where I worked until 87, and then I came down the hill to KDKA.
So what has inspired you to do this work over the years?
I wanted to do this because I found out about a minority training program that was in Washington, D.C. I was in grad school at the time at American University, and I was working on my master's in PR. And I found out about this minority training program that Max Robinson ran. And Max Robinson was the first black anchor for the network news, ABC World News Tonight. Max Robinson. He was a local TV at the time. He worked for Channel 9 in D.C., which was, now it's WUSA.
I see, yeah.
At the time, it was WTOP. So he and the other African-American anchors and reporters wanted a minority training program. As a matter of fact, it was something they demanded in their AFTRA contract, their union contract, that they wanted people behind the cameras, in front of the cameras, they wanted writers, they wanted producers, and they wanted these folks to be trained in this industry so you could go on and get a job. So I found out about this training program and I applied. But I was applying the last night. I made the mistake of calling WTOP radio, and I spoke to the general manager and I told him who I was and what I was doing, and he goes, "Honey, you called the radio station, you need the TV station, but just use my name and you'll get in." I can't remember his name to this day, but he was the reason I got in the program the last day, and I interviewed that night, and I got into the program.
And what's kept you doing it for like as long as you have? And what is it you love about the work, for instance?
Every day is different. You learn a little bit about a lot of things every day. I meet people I would not normally meet. I get to ask the questions that people at home are sitting, go, ask this, and I ask it. Ask this, then you ask it. So I'm asking the questions that people at home want to ask, but they can't. And just generally speaking, I'm just nosy.
Got it. Now, having done this for as long as you have and having been around and interviewed intimately so many different types of people, how do you see the consciousness of the human race going?
Nowadays?
Yeah.
Are we talking politics here?
Well, no, just in general, like where are we going with each other and treating each other, and how do you see the world being in, say, 50 years?
Oh my God, good question. I would say until this administration, I have to put politics in here, I think we were a kinder nation. But now we're not. I think the things that people thought about, they now verbalize. Because people have said things to me during this administration and as a journalist that they never said before. I mean, I was still getting mail at work before I retired 4 months ago. I was still getting mail with the word nigger in it. So that kind of mail. Sometimes I'd go to a little small town to do a story. And if I was the only black reporter there, some of the white reporters were getting a little more information from, say, the fire chief or the police chief than I would get. And I know this because I was pretty tight with all of the reporters. And they'll say, "Brenda, did you know this?" "No." "Well, the fire chief just told me this." "Well, he never told me that." But I knew because we were all kind of tight, and that was the thing. And I know I'm going straying away, but that was one of the things that I loved when I retired. And I got 6 minutes to say goodbye. I was on Facebook, and everyone was reaching out. And some of the younger reporters who are here, they said, we're supposed to compete in this business. There are 3 major stations here: NBC, ABC, and CBS. He goes, but we always knew Brenda had our back. I mean, so that meant so much to me. It makes me tear up now. But that's the kind of things they were posting on Facebook, and they were calling it and telling me.
So what are you doing to make a difference now?
Well, I want to leave a legacy behind. I'm reaching out to people. I speak to people. I'm on several boards. As a matter of fact, I just had a meeting the other day with the Veterans Place, and that's a place where homeless veterans live. And there are programs there for them. So I'm kind of like the branding, marketing person is what they want me to do with this board. Another group I'm involved with is POWER, which is the Pennsylvania Organization for Women in Early Recovery. It is the largest and the only agency just for women who are dealing with drug and alcohol problems. I'm on that board as well. I've also worked with sickle cell. I also work with some of the women's shelters in the area as well. So
Wow.
you just reach out to people and
Yeah.
just talk,
Yeah.
and people listen if you
That's
talk. I mean, not everyone out there is mean and angry,
Yeah.
and like you. I mean, you always talk to people. You haven't met a stranger. You always speak and say hello, and before you know, you have a conversation going with folks. So that's what I try to do.
Yeah, I see that. I see you do that, and I see that your celebrity coming from that place allows an opportunity to speak to people because they want to hear from you and they listen. So, thank you for reaching out and continuing to do your work with organizations and being who you are and being my aunt. I love you so much.
Oh God! And sometimes I put my baseball cap on, and no one knows your face with your mask on now, and I'll have on sunglasses, and people will say, "Hey, Brenda, how's retirement?" I'm like, I thought nobody knew.
You can't hide
Yeah,
it, girl.
but it's great. But it was a great ride, and I miss it. I don't want to go back. I live next door to my workplace, but not once have I run out and tried to jump in a news car and say, please take me on a news story. So I'm ready for my next chapter, and I'd like to do something in public relations or community spokesperson for one of the universities. Maybe Tyler Perry will hire me one day, but that will be my next chapter, something in public relations, I hope. But then they say, you want to make God laugh, make plans.
Well, I know whatever you do will be successful because
Thank
you
you.
are a success story.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes.